Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. This week we have a really fun wreath to make. This is the candy corn wreath, but listen, you can do this as a Christmas tree, whatever type of tree you want, but I'm going to show you step by step where to get the frame and where to get the mesh and where to get that fabulous ribbon. Let's get started.
Okay, you're going to get your wood burner tool out. You're going to get your glass cutting board. I'm going to put this on my Ultimate Mesh Collapsible Mesh Roller Holder. And we're going to start this off by cutting off one of the edges. And the reason why we use the wood burner here is it just kind of melts those edges. And so you'll have less fraying. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut about 20 to 25, depending on the color of mesh and how much we use. We're going to cut them at 18 inches, okay? Now, keep in mind, we're making a candy corn wreath here, but this is a perfect Christmas tree wreath. So we're cutting yellow, orange, and white deco mesh. You could also do this with poly burlap or any other type of mesh. You can get it all at the Wreath shop. I'll have the links down below. Then we're going to take this wreath frame that you can get at the Wreath shop, and we're going to curl each side of our mesh, and then we're going to gather it. So it's kind of like a ruffle and curl, and then you're going to flip it over, and on the back side of it here, you're going to take a little like elastic for hair if you want, or you can take like a little zip tie, but I did this to kind of start it out. And so you have these little curl branches that we're going to put on this tree, and you're going to do this same method for all of them. Now, I like to show the back end of the curl and not the front end, and if you have a hard time understanding that, when you look at it, you'll see the difference. So we curled it on the inside and then we flipped it over. Now, I also think these look like little ghosts. So we are going to start at the middle bracket there on the edge, and we're going to add one of our little branches in. And the nice thing about this is, yes, this is a candy corn wreath. You can make it great for Halloween, fall decor. I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy out there about people not loving candy corn, but if you mix a candy corn with a dry roasted peanut, it tastes like a payday candy bar, or maybe Baby Ruth. I don't know, one of those. So now we're going to add it to our frame, and the grid that's inside this frame is perfection. It gives you the ability to put anything anywhere, and it doesn't limit you. That's why I like this particular grid for this project. And I love that it's flat and it makes a great Christmas tree. Now, if you've purchased my Christmas tree tutorial and you have that tutorial, it is a for paid tutorial, guys. Sorry about that. But this frame will work for that tutorial as well. And this is going to be so cute. So we get about, I want to say 8 to 10 of these little bundles of mesh across the first row here. And we're going to do 2 rows of the yellow. We'll do 2 rows of the orange. And then we do a little bit more for the white. And that's okay because we're going to make a bow. And we got this adorable ribbon from the Wreath shop too. So make sure to check that out. So once you get that first row, you're going to start above about 2 to 3 inches. It depends on your spacing. Okay, so again, we're going to start at that middle bracket on the side. So I'm not even doing the outer bracket. We're going to do the same method here and do the curl ruffle technique, flip it over, and then add it to our zip tie. Now, I added like the little hair piece for the first few that were kind of headed outwards at the bottom of the wreath, just to kind of give it a little bit more structure and it wasn't coming out too far. But you're going to keep doing this. It's the same thing over and over. It's pretty simple, guys, and you're going to love it. Make sure that the bottom of your little branch here is going over where you have the zip tie to the previous layer. And that's pretty much the key. And we're going to go all the way across. And again, when I was in the middle making this, I thought this would have been really nice if I'd used poly burlap. So I kind of wish I would have tried some poly burlap, but that's okay. I love how this turned out. This is the orange mesh. What I had on hand had a little bit of a gold undertone to it, but it came out beautifully, and it looks orange, so it's perfect. But we're going to do the same thing. Start on the outer edge in that middle bracket. You're going to go across. I kept flipping my wreath frame over just to make sure I was going straight. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that. Click on that notification bell because we're here every Sunday night and sometimes in the middle of the week as well. So if you want all your crafting needs taken care of, this is the place to be. But you're going to want to do the same method that we did for the yellow, we're going to do for the orange. Go to the description box in this video. I will leave links to every single product that we are using for this particular wreath. You can get it all from the Wreath shop, and they are just a great company to work with and to order from. So make sure to support your local small business. Well, it might not be local to you, but it's still a small business that you can order online. It's just the same, and they do great work. Like I said before, we're going to do 2 layers of each of the base colors. If you would like to do 3 layers, maybe you would need to scrunch down the rows so they're touching a little bit more. So if it's kind of up to you. But again, I want you to think of this as just kind of the method of putting it together and use your imagination. This would make a beautiful Christmas tree. And all you would need to do is use the same color green mesh or white mesh, whatever Christmas tree you want to make. And then what you would do is take little ornaments. I would get them from the Dollar Tree or kind of have like a golf ball size ornament. Take a pipe cleaner, run it through the little hook, and then take it and go through the frame, and there you have a beautiful Christmas tree. So again, you're getting tutorial for this candy corn wreath, but honestly guys, you can do this for Christmas too. So I wanted to make sure you guys had this opportunity. Now we're doing the white. Again, we start at that outer middle edge and we'll work our way inside to the other side. Now keep in mind, Sarah only has so many of these wreath frames. So if you wait to order, she might run out. So make sure to do that. If you haven't checked, she has angel wreath frames with this same grid. We're going to make an angel wreath, probably with a daisy petal on it. But we're going to be doing that really soon too. And I just can't wait to show you all the things that we have planned for this last few months of 2025. So once you have the 2 rows of the white, we're going to do a 3rd row of the white. We're just going to do 3 of these little branches. And then at the very top, we're going to put 1 of these at the very top. Now keep in mind that we're going to make a bow here in just a moment, but this is kind of how I ended it out. If you put too many branches at the top, then you'll have an issue with it won't have the shape you want it, right? Let's make our bow. You're going to start out with a 10-inch tail, and you're going to gather and you're going to measure 10 inches. Bring it back to the center and do it again. Now we're going to do this 3 times on each side, making 3 loops. This is going to be 10 inches, 9 inches, and 8 inches. Keep that in mind, all right? And once you have 3 loops on each side, I want you to take a zip tie and fasten it in between. All right, this is going to be an assembled bow at the end here, but I like to make this in sections. It makes it a little bit easier. And if you don't have a bow maker, this is a great way to make a bow. Cut that other tail at about 10 inches, 10, 11 inches. You can always make them shorter. Again, 10-inch tail, but now we're going to do 9-inch loops. Measure 9 inches, come to the middle. You might have to move your hand in a way that makes sure that it twists and has the correct ribbon facing out, okay? Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut a tail and secure it with a zip tie. So the first bow has 3 loops, the second bow has 2 loops, and the last bow has 2 loops, all right? Now, once you have this all ready, you're going to set this aside, and then we're going to get out this really cute candy corn ribbon that you can get at the Wreath shop. All this ribbon you can get at the Wreath shop, by the way. And these loops are 8 inches. So the yellow we started at 10 inches, the orange was at 9, and the candy corn is at 8 inches, okay? And you're going to gather it and then bring it back to the middle. And then you're going to add another zip tie, or just what I did here is I just went ahead and layered them all together. You can take a zip tie, or in this case, I took a Chanel stem and I wrapped it around and twisted it really good, because this was how I'm going to put it on the wreath itself. Now, you're going to have to cut these tails, and you might have to trim them a little bit, and that's okay. But I like to take a little bit of extra of one of the ribbons and kind of make that center pop. So I'm going to cut off the wire part. We're going to fold this over, and then we're going to place this on the middle of our bow. If you've watched me before, you've seen me do this many times. If you haven't, then you're not subscribed and you don't watch me here. So make sure you subscribe, okay? And then we're going to crisscross it in the back, and we're going to secure it with that Chanel stem. At the end of it, when I feel like it's all secured, I'm going to cut off the excess ribbon back there. And now I have a really cute bow ready to go. Then we're going to put it on our wreath, and then have this just super simple, easy wreath to make that anybody can do. I'm going to dovetail all of my edges here. And then I prefer the dovetail. You can do it at an angle. It's really up to you and what you like, okay? But are you going to make this for Halloween? So leave me the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in the comments if you made it all the way through. I'm going to add this bow to the top, but are you going to do this for Halloween, or are you going to make this for Christmas and make a beautiful wreath? I think this will be so pretty. I want to see your Christmas trees. Make sure you're in my group, Craft, Create, Connect with Julie's Wreath Boutique. I'll leave that down in the description box below. And then at the very end, we're going to finish it off with some felt. So I went ahead and I traced the felt with the frame and just cut it out. And then I just add little zip ties along the way using my really sharp scissors that I got from Amazon. Check out my Amazon shop or even my Walmart shop. And I have a lot of my supplies, and not supplies, but tools that I use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this wreath. Again, keep in mind that this doesn't have to be just for Halloween. You can use it for any time of year. I would love to see your work, especially in my group, Craft, Create, Connect with Julie's Wreath Boutique, so that we can see all the amazing work that you guys do. Then we're going to add a few zip ties at the top, but you know what? We need to hang our wreath. So I take a zip tie and I anchor it in the center of this wreath form at the very top. You'll see that when you get this wreath, add one more zip tie at the very top to make sure that this felt is going to cover it, and you're going to flip that zip tie underneath so that nothing hurts the door that you're hanging this on, right? That's important. Isn't she cute? I just love her so much. And you're going to fluff up your bow and just have an amazing, beautiful wreath to put on your front door. All right, you know what to do. Go to the description box, go over to the Wreath shop and order the supplies. Then I want you to make sure that you're subscribed to me here on YouTube and leave that jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in the comments. It lets me know that you watched the whole video, and we'll see you next time on Julie's Wreath Boutique.